Well, welcome
Hey,
and welcome to our guest. We have Miss Rachelle Poth.
hello.
How's it going?
It's going well. It's good to see you. How are you?
Guys, I'm great. And you're just writing books away. I'm like, how does she do it? Because you be on it, honey. You had them books coming left and right.
Oh, nah.
I think
I don't know.
I done lost count now.
Yeah, I've lost count a little bit, but I think I'm gonna not be writing some for a while. I'm finishing up one more, so I think I'm gonna take a break because I've got a lot of books here that I want to read from people. So
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Yes, that will be fun. Um, We're missing Kristen right now because she's having audio issues. So hopefully she will get that worked out and will be able to join us momentarily. Um, let's see. So how was your day today? What was your day like?
It was
All right.
good.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, I can hear you.
Can you hear us?
Can you hear us?
Can you hear me? Yeah. I can hear you on here.
Oh,
So then you have to mute your phone. I mean, mute the computer sound,
All right,
right?
I'm gonna try to go find a headset.
yeah, because usually you have one on. Okay, we'll let her figure that out. Okay, so what is the day like in the
Yeah,
life of Rachelle?
it's busy. I today wasn't quite as busy as most other days have been, but it I slowed down a little bit. Yesterday was pretty busy, but I do a lot just because I like to stay active and I like to take opportunities. If there's a webinar, if there's a live, there's a podcast thing to listen to, or Twitter chats or something. I don't know. I like to keep moving, but today I did slow down and got outside because the weather was beautiful. So, yeah, long days, but it's all good. How about you? What are days like for you? I'm sure
Oh
busy,
gosh.
crazy.
Yes, just finished my first semester in my PhD program, and
Oh,
I've gotten two A's so far. So I'm waiting on one more grade from a class, and I'm like,
nice.
just please make it what it needs to be. But I'm glad that is over because I was really consumed for the past 2 weeks. I mean, like when finals come up and you have projects and exams, I didn't know that your life is consumed. And so
Right.
I had to not be on Facebook as much and not be on Twitter as much. And that's not like me because I love especially being on Twitter. And so I had to take a step back and get school stuff situated. And then I'm in training right now for the next couple of weeks. And so that's a 8 o'clock to 4:30 thing that I do every day here. Now, do you
Mhm.
have children?
No, no.
I was wondering if you did. Okay, but you
Yeah,
are a lawyer.
yeah.
Okay, what practice? What is like? Where's your practice in?
Well, not technically practicing now. And it's funny because people thought that I was an attorney first and then went
Uh,
to become a teacher, but I was a teacher
uh,
first. And I went to
okay.
law school and I was teaching full time. And I went to law school it was a 4-year, 4-night a week program. So I was in school a lot. But my focus, it was like criminal law was my biggest interest. And then
Oh my goodness.
also like family law I liked
Yeah.
and did some work with because I didn't want to quit teaching. Like that's not why I went to law school. So
So why
now
did you?
that's a great question. I was uh, let's see how to pinpoint it. I was always interested in anything related to the law, legal, just no matter what it was. If I was reading a book, if there was a show on TV, although I never did watch Law and Order, which surprises people too, because they're like,
Yes,
you
law
probably
and
watch this. I'm like, no, I never did. And that was when I was younger. But then
order.
I got my degree from Penn State in teaching French, and I couldn't get a job. So
In
people
France.
said, right, teaching French couldn't couldn't get a job. And people said, well, you should go get another certification. How about history? And I was like, I'm not feeling the history. I mean, I like history, but I didn't really see how many. Yeah, like how many schools would be seeking like a French and a history teacher. So I got certified in Spanish, but then during that time, I took courses to become a translator. We had to do like medical translation, legal translation. I became really interested in like legal terms. And it wasn't until one of the courses where my teacher was, she had a high ranking position with John Deere Corporation. It was just fascinating to learn from her. And I started to realize like I didn't feel like I challenged myself enough in college. And I thought, I have this interest in the law. I wonder if I could have gone into, being an attorney or go to law school. But I was already teaching full time for 5 years at that point. And I thought, well, I'm not going to change careers. So I did think about,
what were you teaching?
I was teaching French and Spanish, both, because it took me 3 years to get the certification, and I was substituting for 3 years while I got the Spanish, and then I got the job, which is where I'm still at the same school. But yeah, so it's been a long time, but I decided to apply and didn't tell anybody. I just figured I didn't want to wake up someday and think like, yeah, I wonder if. And so I did it. I applied. I got accepted. I had no idea that it was going to be as your undergrad, you pick your schedule and you go through the program. You're like, yeah, I don't want to have an 8 a.m. I want to sleep in. No, not when you're in that program, because it's 4 years, 4 nights a week, 6 till 9 or 6 till 9:30. Like there are no choices until usually like your 3rd or 4th year where you can pick, a couple like specialty areas, which I did. But I graduated, 2006. So that is 15 years ago, which is crazy, but I don't think that I would still be teaching had it not been for law school. And so it was a good experience. I keep up my certification. I mean, I do all the classes just like we do in education. You got to keep everything up. And, it helps in being an educator. It helps in the classroom. It helps to think about different perspectives. And I don't know, it was a great experience. And I'm glad I did it. I don't know how I survived it, but I did. So
that's wonderful. And hats off to you for that. And the fact that you're still employed at the same school teaching, like that is so awesome. And then, you just made the decision like, hey, I'm going to challenge myself and go to law school. And, I got that added too. So we just add that to your credentials. And that is really phenomenal. So
yeah, thanks. Well, look at you. You're getting your PhD. So
yes, I'm in the beginning. So
that's all right.
Yeah, I'm excited. And I have someone that tries to take my joy away from being excited about it. But I'm proud of myself because I at first didn't even know that I would actually be in school in Mississippi State for my PhD. Like if somebody would have told me that at the end of 2020, I've been like, thank you for your kind words. But no, I do not see that happening. And hey, he made a way and I'm in it and I love it. And I'm actually coming back to the classroom in the fall. I'll be teaching math for the first time with 5th graders. So I'm so excited about that opportunity. But enough about me. We're back on to you because you are the amazing and inspiring one. But I do have to ask you, so are you like able to give legal advice about family law, regardless if you live in that state or not?
Yes and no. I mean, general advice, but I'm so far removed from that part of you figure how many years have gone, like my brain now is wrapped around like all things education and all the things I do in my classroom and, like we all do all the things. So I do get asked a lot. I get a lot of messages about, even my students will say, if I get in trouble, will you be my attorney? And I just laugh.
Okay.
And I'm like, well, first of all, I hope you don't get in trouble. And second of all, I don't know if I could do that. But I do have people reach out and ask a lot. Sometimes it's family law related. Sometimes it's, a lot of times it's property law. Just some people are buying new homes or they're, fixing up homes and want to do like rental agreements and stuff. And sometimes it is criminal law or just general questions out of curiosity. So, I don't have all the answers, but I look at all the books that I have upstairs and all the bar exam prep materials, and I think, how did I ever do that? But when you are passionate about something and when you know, like, you're putting yourself out there, you do whatever it takes. And I gave it my all, and I said, I do not want to go through this experience again. I will sleep later.
Okay, and you accomplished it. That is phenomenal. Like, so proud to know you just because of all of your credentials that you have and how hard you work. And I mean, you are a constant work. You don't ever really stop. So I'm glad that I know of you. Kristen, can you hear us now?
I can hear you. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yay. Okay, you're going to start with your questions and then I go, or you want me to go and then you go? How you want to do it?
You can go ahead.
Kristen.
And I got to sit here and find mine.
I could turn it on you and I could ask you both questions.
Sure. I'll be more.
Just kidding.
I'm trying to get on you all's show anyway. I love that y'all have that going on Facebook. And I'm like, this is so cool. And I keep seeing the guests and I'm like, why am I not a guest yet? Like,
I tell you what, we have people lined up. And so I have you on believe me, I have this long list and you are there.
Awesome.
And we took some breaks too, like around the like the spring breaks and everything, and shifted, and with events coming up. So we made some changes here and there, but trust me, you are there.
Okay. Well, that gives me comfort to know that my opportunity will be coming one of these days.
It will be.
I'm geeked. Okay, I'm gonna take Kristen's first question because while I'm looking for my questions, and the first question is, what is your favorite color?
Oh, that is, I can never pick a favorite. I know what color people say is my favorite, and it's black. But it's like very often that happens, that people say, oh, it must be black. But I really do like blue, just different shades of blue. I just can't help it. I do have a friend that's local here in Pittsburgh, and people often say that we look like sisters. She's a teacher. We go to a lot of the ed tech conferences together, and she definitely, like, black is her favorite color. Her name is Z, and we have roomed together at conferences in the past. And I always joke with her, and I'm like, I feel like I'm in like the Men in Black movie, because like she hangs her stuff up and there's like everything is all black. Like, and she says it all the time. She's like, that's all I wear. It's just all black. And I say, and people say that I wear the black, but I don't know. It just happens. But I do like blue, which coincidentally I'm wearing blue now, blue and green. So even though that wasn't just one answer, one color.
Yes, I understand. I have a collection. I mean, hot pink is my favorite, but then I like black, and purple is growing on me.
Yeah.
More and more purple is growing. And I don't know if it's because of my school color from back then or what, but purple is growing on me. Kristen, what's yours?
A very dark red, like a blood red.
Okay. Go with the fire, the hot. So what kind of advice would you give to a new teacher, like brand new, out of college? Say for instance that I didn't get the opportunity to have, like, what is it called? Like when you do a semester of like
like student teaching or internships now. Yeah,
I didn't get the opportunity to do that. I went the alternate route. So I just kind of came right on into the classroom. What would you say to that new teacher who hadn't had any classroom experience at all, just brand new and fresh in the classroom?
Yeah, that's advice that I wish I would have had years ago. And I didn't have a good, like, I shouldn't say I didn't have good. The way that we were prepared going through the courses in college then compared to now is so different. And the group that I was in my school, we were so focused on like, all right, you got to cover the content, you got to do this. I mean, everything was like, I was teaching the way I was taught. And so that's how I started. It took me I'm still learning as I go. It took me a good 15 years to really feel like I was actually teaching and putting myself out there more. So if I had one thing of advice, I would say do not keep yourself isolated in your classroom. Because that's what I did for many, many years. And it was for a lot of reasons. I felt like I was not handling behaviors or, the clerical things or classroom management, all the different preps and everything. And I was afraid that people would realize or recognize that if I spoke to anybody, and I didn't really know where to turn. I mean, when you go back then, we didn't have all of these spaces now to connect and ask for help. And so I didn't. And I kept it to myself. And I just think how many opportunities that I missed out on for my own growth, but worse for like my students, and just how much more now. I mean, granted, we have a lot more available to us now, but if I would have at least taken that step to get help and to admit like, hey, you know what, I am really struggling here. And I feel like, I felt like quitting a lot of times. And I've had people come to me in the last couple of years, whether, just locally or send me a message, all the ways, Voxer or something. And they say, I don't feel like I'm cut out for teaching. I'm having this, and this. And I think, gosh, I wish I would have said that to somebody, but then that was my chance to actually say to them, okay, first of all, like, you are cut out for teaching. You need to connect. You need to ask for help. And so that is the advice that I would give. If it's the best, I don't know, but I'm trying to think if there was one thing somebody told me, that would be it.
And I absolutely agree with you, because I was like that, and I never had a mentor teacher when I first came in. So it was like I went alternate route, come into the classroom, and my first year, I was a long-term sub because I had to take 2 courses in my master's program that I just went on ahead and finished. And so they gave me 4th graders, and I had 20 of them, and they were my kids. And we went through the year, and I do think that we had a really great, successful year. They did hire me the following year, and I taught 5th grade ELA. But it's like, now that I've had this opportunity to step away from the classroom for a year, and I'm going back into it with so much more. It's like, I have the lesson plans used to be something that I just could not stand to do. Now I'm like, just give me the lesson plans. I will write them. I mean, I just realized how much I miss the impact that the students had on me. And I think vice versa, the impact that I would have on them. So I'm like overjoyed to go back. I've never taught 5th grade math, but I'm gathering all the resources that I need now to prepare myself. She actually had a 5th grade ELA position that was open, but she said, because of your years of experience, I would like for you to do math. Would you be okay with that? And I was like, sure, of course, I'd be willing to try. And I was like, wait a minute, that's when you have to multiply and divide fractions and stuff. And I'm like, I've never been a math student, never. Like, I bead my way through out of math. And my geometry teacher, her name was Miss Kennedy. She gave me my B in geometry because I know I did not earn that 85. She gave me that B. I will never forget Miss Kennedy for giving me my B. So I can definitely understand the advice that you would give to a first year teacher is to, expand, go out there, introduce yourself to others. And I'm thinking that that's kind of what they're trying to do with like PLC meetings, because I had explained to the principal during my interview that I've had PLC meetings before. And I said, I'm not going to say that they were ran the way that they were supposed to be ran, but I know what the purpose of a PLC meeting is for. So, you get to bounce back and feed information off of each other and see what works within your classroom. So, it'll be interesting to see how I come back into the role, and hopefully I'm not too rusty after a year.
Nah, you won't be, because I've known some people who have stepped away for many different reasons. Some of them have taken sabbaticals or to get different degrees, like you getting your PhD, and they've been out of the classroom and they've come back and taught different grade levels and everything. And I mean, it'll be a different experience, but you have all of this other experience that you've gained in the process. So you have to dive right in. But the math, I'm there with you. I used to be good at math, but yeah.
I'm rusty on that. when we were like, okay, fractions. Oh, okay. But I think we started off with like number operations first. I was like, oh, I can do that. I can handle
Yeah.
first start off. But then when I went further on and I saw decimals and I was like, oh, really? We're gonna have to do this. So I'm gonna be YouTubing and watching videos on learning how to do these things. So when I get in there, I'm gonna be like, okay, class, so this is how we're gonna learn this. So I'm gonna make sure that I go in there prepared and ready to motivate them to learn that math.
That's right.
Kristen, you have a question?
Probably the most important question in the entire world. George Clooney or Richard Gere?
I thought it was Richard Gere because I was like, I know Clooney, but I don't know Gere unless it's Richard Gere.
Yeah. So that's an interesting question, and I'm going Clooney because
I would go Clooney too.
I mean, I have seen Richard Gere movies, of course, and there are some definite favorites, but I like George Clooney and the humor or wit that he has in some of the roles that he's played in. I don't know. It just like I can't even think of the name. It has a number. It's in the casinos.
Ocean's 11.
Yeah. I'm thinking 11.
Well, it's an Ocean's 11, 12.
Ocean's 12. Yeah. Yeah. So just some of those movies like that. So yeah, I would pick Clooney.
Well, I like Patrick Dempsey. Isn't it his name Patrick Dempsey?
Mhm.
The
Yeah,
one that
from
Grey's Anatomy?
yeah.
Oh my gosh, he is adorable. When he died, I thought I died. Oh my God, that was the saddest episode I had watched. I cried so hard.
I haven't seen that yet.
Oh, you don't want to see the episode.
Spoiler alert.
Want to see it.
No.
I was,
Yeah.
but he died like years ago. Most currently, the wife has been in a coma from COVID, and in her unconsciousness, she's been with him. So they were able to get him to come back to the show and play his part as if he's in heaven, and it was really neat. And so she decided that she wanted to go back to Earth, come back down where we are, and because she didn't want to leave the kids and let them grow up without having at least one of their parents. So love Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah.
And he's hot. He's hot. Okay, so if you can make one thing better for educators, what one thing would you do?
Oh my gosh.
Anything for them to make life just that much easier.
Yeah, that's a hard question to go to after Clooney and Gere. I have to put on my major thinking right now.
Yes, the brain wrinkles.
It would probably, oh gosh, I could name resources or tech or instruction. I could name all of these different things. And I think probably the biggest thing, well, one, I would like to give more time for people to rest and focus on their own well-being and self-care, because I know everybody, students, families, teachers, everybody around the world is working so much more, and it's just exhausting. But since you've narrowed it down to educators, I would say probably more choice when it comes to PD time and professional learning, and just having opportunities to explore different ways that aren't the traditional kind of all together, everybody doing the same thing. Not that that's bad, because there are specific, different states have regulations that teachers have to become certified in something, or there's mandated trainings that you have to go through. But I think in this past year, especially as teachers in different scenarios with teaching, some hybrid, some virtual, some in person, some teaching like high flex or whatever variation, and not having their own space to learn what they need to learn or to connect with other educators. That comes to mind right now, because I know a lot of schools are planning for end of the year PD, summer PD, next year PD. And a lot of the conversations that I'm seeing happen on Twitter and different communities that we're all involved in is focused on filling that schedule so much with everything that the school needs. And I don't see as much choice for teachers in that. And so which is what we would want for students too, right? We want them to have more choices. So that comes to mind.
Absolutely. I definitely would agree with you on that. gosh, it slipped my mind just that quick. We were in the process of talking about, oh, so one of my last assignments for my teacher, my boys are hybrid. So they go 2 days a week and then they're at home on Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. And so I had to record a session with them as my students. And oh my gosh, even though it was just two of them, the very first time we tested it out, it was mayhem. I was like, I am so embarrassed at you all. I can't believe y'all did me like that. I'm your mother. Like, I can't send this recording in to anybody. And so after I made a big fuss about it, they were like, let us do it again. Let us try it again. And so as we continue to try, they improved, and my hat goes out to like all of the teachers that are trying to, because now they have some kids at school and then they still have some that are online, because there are a few that are just virtually only. They don't go to the classroom at all. And I'm like, that has to be you instructing the ones that are in front of you, and you're trying to instruct the ones on the computer. I'm
Right.
like, oh my goodness, like that would be insane.
It's tough. And
Yeah, and
Kristen was doing that too, right?
just what she's currently doing.
Well,
Yeah.
my son is back 5 days a week, all day long. So
Okay.
it
Okay.
is the best thing ever. He leaves the house at 7, gets home at 2:30. It's perfect. Like they finally went back beginning of April. So he is so excited. He's been a lot better. He was going hybrid for a few months, but they're 100% back. So
Okay. Now you still teach from home though, right?
yeah, I'm
And
100% virtual.
how is it that you keep their attention? Because that was my thing. Logie Bear would zone off into the TV or the iPad, and then I had Christian, and I'm like, okay, these are just my two, so I'm taking two and time that by 10. What if you have 20 plus on your screen? How are you keeping up with all of them and making sure that they're attentive? And
Well, they're
you know,
not. I don't
Yeah.
have 100%. But once in a while, I will ask a question and I'll ask them put into a private chat so the
mhm.
other kids don't just do a simple answer. And
Mhm.
so I'll know which ones are not listening and I'll call them
Yeah.
out to see. And then they'll give me like some weird answer and they'll know they're not paying attention. So, like I said, what's your favorite color? Put into a private chat and I'll get all these private chats and then I'll be missing some. So,
That's
um,
how you pick up who's paying attention and not. And
Mhm.
are they required to keep their cameras on?
mm-mm.
Like they are. Okay, see here they require them to keep their cameras on, and I have to hear the teacher call Christian's name. Christian, your camera's not on. And I'm like, I've now moved him from the kitchen into the living room with me so that I can watch him and I can watch Logie Bear. Now, Logie Bear is fine as long as he has his iPad. He'll pay attention to the teacher, but he's on his iPad. But I
Mhm.
told Christian he's multitasking. He knows how to answer his questions and still keep himself entertained. Christian ain't figured that part out yet. I'm working on him. That's a work in progress. So I told him I'll be glad when school starts back regularly. I'm going to transfer them to where I am so that they will be there with me. And if there are ever any problems, I'm right there. So we won't have nothing to
Yeah.
worry about. Nothing to worry about.
Oh my gosh.
Um, okay, so do you have a favorite quote?
Yeah, gosh, I have a whole book. I have a lot of
I
favorite
know,
quotes.
right? I love
Yeah. Yeah. I I would never get the wording right, but the one that I really like that I think about a lot is from Brene Brown from Daring Greatly, and it's about vulnerability, and it basically focuses on the courage to show up and be seen, even when you have no control over the outcome. So that one sticks with me, and especially just because we all have fears and things. We're afraid of taking risks. And a couple of years ago, when I had read Daring Greatly, I was asked to do 2 presentations that were not like the normal kind of conference ones. And there was a lot involved in them. And and one was actually like a keynote. And I didn't think I could do it. I'm like, I can't, you start that negative, that self-talk, like, I can't.
That's
And I wanted
doubt.
to back out. And I happened to read the book and I read that quote and I was like, Okay, so that one, and then Eleanor Roosevelt has one that's do something or do one thing every day that scares you, and so that's another one. I just think like, all right, yeah, keep challenging yourself and
Yes,
whatever it
yes.
is. So, but yeah, those two. There's tons of great quotes out there. I had a conversation with somebody a couple hours ago, and it was a quote that he said about learning and create. Don't worry about the plan, just worry about the path, or something. And I didn't do it justice just then, but
No, I could get a feel for it though. I
yeah,
like where it was going. That's for sure.
yeah.
Come on, Kristen, you next.
I was trying to figure out what to do. It's been such a hectic day, and realizing my StreamYard wasn't working the way I wanted to, and then trying to find a headphone. So it's just like I'm just here.
Yeah,
Like
look
I'm
like
gonna be
the
I'm gonna be
quote.
one of those people. I'm just here, like behind the screen, like the Wizard of Oz. So don't mind me, kind of thing.
No.
Um. All right. So let's see. Growing up or in your life at all, who is your biggest cheerleader? Like who, no matter what you wanted to do, who supported you?
My parents. I mean, I'm an only child, and it
Oh,
just even now, it's the same thing. Whatever little thing that I might do, and they've always just been a constant. No matter what it was. I mean, grade school, high school, college, now adulthood, everything. But within the confines of not always like, yeah, you did great, it's awesome, you're so good. I mean, they
it's
cheer
more.
you on. Yeah, it's like they'll tell me, yeah, but here's like they'll give me some feedback, and I value that because I mean, yeah, of course I want to hear like who doesn't want to hear like, yeah, you did a great job or that was awesome. But it's all about the feedback like we give with students or anybody too. It's like, yeah, this was good. This was, yeah, you might want to work on this thing. So but they've always been, no matter what kind of crazy thing that I might have tried to undertake, like going to law school when I already had a career. I mean, it's like, it's your choice. You want to do it. Okay. So, yeah.
So they were very supportive. That's awesome. And then we get to learn you're our only child. So how cool that is. Okay, so do you remember your first time that you spoke at a conference? Like when did you get that first opportunity? Do you remember it?
I do. It was at locally, we have world language educator conferences, and it is a local university that would have them in the spring. And I don't even remember why I applied, in the sense if somebody had asked me to apply or if I had gone. I just thought, well, I'll just do it, because I still to this day, when I speak in places, sometimes I say, all right, I really don't like public speaking, because you get the nerves, right? It doesn't matter if it's a small room, a big room. There are so many variables that go into your mind, but I joke about that. But that was one of the first times, but it was different because, and I never liked to speak in front of like PD sessions in my school, how they always say, okay, we need a volunteer from each table. I would go under the table. I'm like, don't pick on me. I am not speaking. I will write. I will put Post-it notes up. It doesn't matter. I will casually like take the break out in the hall. I need to get a drink of water, because I never wanted to speak, because I didn't feel like what I had to say was the right thing to say, or if it was valuable. But when you speak about something that you're doing and that you're interested in and passionate about, it's different. So that was the first time that I spoke, was it just for language educators about what I was doing in my classroom. And the only reason that I had that kind of courage to even do that was because of what my students had been doing. And I was just excited to share that. So that's where my confidence kind of came from, was like seeing them speak and then thinking, yeah, I'm asking them to do things in class, like speak with their peers, in front of their peers, and I don't want to do it myself. So
Exactly.
maybe I should go out and try this. So I don't even know how many years ago that is at this point, but it's been a while.
Okay, and now you got it down to a T. You
I
just,
wouldn't say that.
I think you would speak great. I
Thank
do.
you.
I think you speak great. Okay, so have you ever had a situation where you had to rise up, like you might have felt defeated or you were burned out and you were like, you know what, I'm going to get through this and I'm going to
Yeah.
get to where it is you need to be?
how much time do we have? I mean, that's a lot. Like,
then
for real.
that goes in because you do
Yeah.
so much. I mean, the list can go on, and it's like you do so much, and you just, you just humble you, and I'm like, I'm about to run out of fingers on how many books I have, and I'm missing some. I'm missing the most recent one that came out, so I gotta catch my.
You're too much.
Rachelle, just tell us what you don't do.
Oh, there's a longer list of things that I don't do. Let's just put that out there right now. I mean, there's some organization that needs to be done in the house. I don't watch TV. I've started to watch Netflix finally after all these years, but
Hey,
I know that's like a celebration in itself. People are like, well, you don't watch Netflix, and no, not until November I started to watch. But there've been a lot of different things. Like last year, I was doing the ISTE certification process, and there were a lot of. I mean, all of us were experiencing everything with the pandemic, and teaching was hard. We were just all consumed by so much, and the time dwindled, and I just didn't think I could do it, and I was going to give up with that. And that's not it's not like a hugely personal thing. It was a professional thing that I thought I can't. I'm not going to get this done. I can't do it. So I did push through and did that. But then there have been times where I've taken kind of a stand against. I don't want to say against other people, because that sounds like, where am I going with this? There have been times, a little bit, where I've been in different scenarios. Like just years ago in public, I was in a store, and there was an older woman in front of me, and she was not being treated kindly by the person working the cashier. And it was just a very rude experience. I mean, I've told the story to my students a couple of times too over the years, just talking about interacting and building those skills, whether we're in the classroom, why it's important, and it's important how you treat people. And I just remember that she was just being treated so poorly and just so rude. And I spoke up, and it was uncomfortable. Like I didn't necessarily know if I was doing the right thing or whatever. And I also didn't want to offend the person, because like I'm stepping in a little bit, but just times like that.
And that would have made my day. So I'm pretty sure she appreciated the fact that you stepped in, and it takes me to what we have going on now within our country, and the hate that's being put out against certain races, and
Right.
it's sad. And I watched the news, and it was like a older lady, and a guy just like pushed her and like kicked her and knocked her down, and I'm just like, oh my God, like I feel so sorry for it. And I'm like, why are we expressing so much hate? Like not they haven't done anything. No, and I know what they're trying to tie it all to, but I'm like, come on now, we got to be better than that. And drive that hate out with love and understanding, or at least, try to get an understanding. But
right. I agree.
It is just, I'm a news person. I watch it, and probably shouldn't watch it as much. I used to want to be a news reporter back one day in one of those lives, but I had my son, who's now 15. I had him during the time I was working with journalism and stuff, and I absolutely loved it. From the filming, from doing the interviews, getting in and doing the editing and everything like that. I was like, yes, like this is what I really want to do. But it was time, and it was the time that I didn't have to be able to commit to it. So once upon a time, I wanted to be a news reporter. Like,
that's awesome.
The one that has her billboard up. Pass by and see, reporting the news. So
well, you could do it someday. You never know, right? I mean,
well, I was told that it's never too late. Like, and then that's what motivated me to go after my PhD, because in my mind, I had planned for myself to have it by the age of 32. Well, 32 came, happened, went, And then came 33 and 34, and then 35 arrived. And I was like, okay, it's a chance for me. I can go to school. Y'all gonna accept me? Okay, well, thank you. And so now you're 35. I'm like, here I am finishing the first semester and, trying to see what my GPA is going to be and registering for summer classes and fall classes. So, I really can understand that. What you got over there, Kristen?
Wall. I'm just listening to you guys. I'm just like, everything is just.
It's a nice wall, though. I do like, I do. It's very
just
nice.
so you know, I had to put all these bricks in one by one. Like,
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so that's one thing I don't do. Just go back to that. I don't do that.
To talk about math and geometry, I had to figure out like how all this went in. I had it on the floor, and then my husband like flipped it and put it on the wall. We have a bigger wall over there that I had to do it. So this one took about 4 hours. Wow. Probably about 20 feet long.
Wow.
That's unreal.
Do you have a coffee mug today?
Do I have a what?
Coffee mug today?
No, I didn't bring it down. I did bring my water though. every time I have a different coffee mug with a saying. And
coffee mug. That's what I was waiting for the coffee mug of the day.
I couldn't find the cool one. I think my son took it because he likes his decaf coffee on the weekends, and sometimes the cups never make it back downstairs. So
now I know that feeling, especially with these boys over here. It is unreal.
So I might have missed it because I was in the search of finding my headphones for audio. But what college did you attend?
Oh, you didn't. Well, let's see. I gotta give you like a list because there's so many. That was kind of the joke with my students. Yeah, my undergrad was Penn State, and then I got my Spanish certification between University of Pittsburgh and then a local university, Seton Hill, which is close to where I live. And then I got my law degree and my master's in technology, both from Duquesne in Pittsburgh. So, there's not that many.
I got you beat on colleges, I'll tell you that. Because I went to Lewis University, which was a Christian college. Then because, I messed up my first year, I had to make up those credits. So I went to a junior college in the area, which actually is the oldest junior college in the nation.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Built in 1901 in Joliet, Illinois, is the first junior college. Okay. So I went there, and then I had to take 21 credit hours. And if anyone knows anything about credit hours, that is, I must have been psycho taking 21 because 18 is. So I had to do that, and then I transferred to Western Michigan for my BA, and then I went to Governor State for my MA. So I got a long list too.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Mine's not that long. I have Alcorn for my bachelor's and my master's, and then I'll have Mississippi State. I did have Hines for my, because I started at Alcorn my freshman year and I cheered, and then I left and went to Hines and Raymond. I finished at Hines and Raymond, transferred back to Alcorn, finished my bachelor's, my master's, and then now I'm at Mississippi State.
Wow.
Hell Bulldogs, Hell State. So
that's a lot too.
Yes. We have quite a bit of knowledge within this room.
Lots of schools in this room.
Yes. And then like most of the classes that I'm taking are technology classes. So I will have those hours where I can try to see if there is a certification for technology. Because I was like, I wonder if there's a technology certification. If it is, I'm going to earn it because, oh my gosh, I have so many technology classes. And the good thing, though, is that like the most recent class that I took, it was called Digital Tools. And basically, he worked the crap out of us, but Dr. Frankham, I applaud him. He was a wonderful professor. We did work the entire semester, and he's the one that had me to do the recording with my children. So I got a taste of that virtual learning, and I'm like, I don't Kristen does it every day,
Yeah.
honey. And you have the older kids, so I'm sure they're on their devices and you TV or whatever else, and no,
Yep.
no.
It's
I do have,
interesting.
I do have to say that my period 5 class is like the funniest. Like they want to meet in person. Like let's say they're saying let's have a barbecue today, and I'll meet and we'll have a barbecue competition. I'm like, guys, class is 40 minutes. Like there's no way, But they're always in the chat. Like I even the students that don't participate, they're encouraging them through the chat. So one day I said, okay, we're going to take a class picture. They all had black screens except for mine. And I'm like, smile. So I'm smiling and they're all black screens. So they wanted to do a 5th hour yearbook on Padlet. So I created one and it says on their class picture and it's got all the black screens. And the kids are like, I look so good. They're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe my hair turned out.
Oh my goodness.
Like,
well, at least you're able to have fun with them though and have that connection. That's what
you just don't know what they look like.
Well, I have their pictures in our system. So I tell them, I said, I know what you guys look like. They're like, what? So at the end of the year, I think we're going to do a Brady Bunch thing where we're going to have like the Brady Bunch. They're going to look down to the side, and then they'll actually have their faces shown. They said the last day of school, they'll put their faces on.
That's a fun idea.
Yeah, that's going to be cool.
So they inspire me each day because even when I had COVID 2 weeks ago, and so I still taught because I was virtual and I was not feeling it. Like I was drained. That it wasn't sick. I was just drained. And I even told them, I said, guys, I'm not feeling well. And like that whole hour went by so fast because they were constantly having the energy that I didn't have.
That's
so
good.
It was really nice.
I checked on Forever. She was I'm tired. I don't feel well. I'm tired. I'm like, poor thing. I hate that she had to go through it because I know it was rough.
And that's the one thing, it just drains you. Like all I wanted to do was sleep. That's
exactly. That's all you want to do is sleep. I know I slept 2 days straight when we caught it. Oh, that was just and the body aches. Oh gosh. But I have my first vaccine shot. I have to go get my second one on Thursday, I think. So, and I'm not looking forward to the second one because they say the second one is the one that gives you some symptoms. So, not looking forward to that.
Hopefully it goes well with no problems.
Thank you. I take that as this. Yes. Have you had yours, Kristen? Or
I'm not getting it.
Okay, you're not gonna go for it.
No.
Well, I mean, you've had it now, and that's what I was thinking to myself at first. I was like, well, I've had it now, so I mean, but I know educators, they kind of want them to have it. So, but there are a lot of people that are reluctant, and somebody asked on the news, like, why you won't get it, and somebody said something about the government, and I'm like, what?
It's a government conspiracy.
Yeah, I'm like, wait a minute, what the government got to do with, Now, at first I wanted the Johnson & Johnson, but when those clots started showing up, I was like, oh no, because I was happy that it was just one shot and that's all you had to worry about. But no, bless those women and men that have had those blood clots to come. That's not. And so they try to make it seem like, oh, it's so many in a million. I'm like, y'all named six. Six was too many because one was too many. So
no offense, but if they can't get baby powder right, I'm not getting a shot from Johnson & Johnson.
I forgot they did have that problem with the baby powder. Bless its heart.
Yeah, and technically, since I had COVID, I could, even if I wanted to get the shot, I could until 3 months after because it would really mess with my system.
Really?
Yeah, I was reading on CDC. It says if you had COVID, you should not get the shot within 3 months of having COVID because this is still in your system, and then the shot can reverse it or something.
Oh yeah, we don't want to do that. We need you well.
Yeah. And you're feeling better then, Kristen?
Oh yeah, Sunday I was like back to normal. Like Sunday I was doing my exercises and everything, and I felt human. But before then, I didn't want to look at screens, look at my phone. Like I just
Mm,
nothing. I was just tired. I like slept all day long.
I
So
bet.
I can imagine that was just not fun at all.
Mm-hmm. Definitely not.
Mhm. Okay, so you're gonna ask Rachelle her favorite number?
of course,
Okay.
um, because sometimes we get inspired by our favorite numbers.
I do have a favorite. I don't have a least
Yeah.
favorite. I do have a favorite.
So, what is your favorite number?
16.
Why?
Okay, why?
I don't know. Like I I have honestly I have no idea, but ever since I don't know if it was when I was a kid, I mean young kid, or maybe 8, 9, 10, early teens or something. It has just been the number. I honestly legitimately do not know why that is my favorite number, but it just
16.
is.
Yeah, mine is 3. And
Okay.
I said 3 at first because I have 3 boys, and then I had 3 dogs, but one of my babies, my sweet baby, she passed away. And that just, oh my gosh, like I still miss her so, so much.
Hard.
Um, so, yeah, 3 is mine. Okay,
Yeah.
what's yours, Kristen?
Well, it's kind of ironic because 3 is one of the numbers that we have here because my wedding anniversary is May 3rd, which is coming up in a week. It'll be 23 years. So,
Oh
Wow.
God, how? I'm struggling. Like for real. I'm
23
really
years.
and you're gonna have to give me some advice, honey, because I'm struggling. Like I'm
We've been to-
holding on.
we've been
And
together for 25.
like a bug is on a window and you
Oh
driving
my
fast
gosh.
and it fly off. That's me. I'm the bug right now, trying to hold on to it because y'all don't understand.
So, we got married May 3rd. My parents got married May 3rd and my grandparents got married May 3rd.
Oh wow.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
Cool.
the other one is 19 for my birthday because I'm January 19th. And then there's a lot of 19 that happens in our year.
Mhm.
So we have 19 and 3 that go around the house.
Okay.
Hmm.
19 and yeah. Well, we have 3 in common.
Yeah, you too.
And then maybe I'll say 28 for my birthday because I'm a September baby. What month are you, Rachelle? I think you're September too.
I am, and that's what the 915 is on my Twitter handle and everything. Because
Oh,
yeah, when my email was back to like when AOL came out with email, my parents created their email, and the end of it, the digits were my dad's birthday. So then I had to create my own. I'm like, I guess I got to put my birthday at the end. So that's what it is, and it's consistent.
Yay. I knew you was a September baby.
Yeah.
my neighbor's birthday is the 15th. My
Okay.
dog Molly that passed, she was the 27th. My husband's birthday is the 30th. This is all September.
Wow.
My
Wow.
mother-in-law's is in September, the 9th. My best friend from high school, hers is in September on the 14th.
And
And
your best friend over here is in September on the 28th.
what's really weird is not only did we get married we plan obviously to get married on May 3rd, but my husband's birthday, my dad's birthday is both September 30th, 30 years apart.
Oh, cool.
Wow.
So, and they both
Gosh.
work for the same type of company.
Get
Oh,
out.
So, and they didn't know each other. So it's not like they met through. So it was very weird how that happened.
Yeah. Interesting.
A lot of
course.
September birthdays.
Yeah. I know a lot of people in September as well.
Are you married?
Yeah.
Okay. How long has it been?
It will be, not quite yet, but it will be 23 years.
God dang, you too? Y'all gotta
Yep.
school me how to save it. Because that's what I'm gonna come consult with you about. We don't have to consult about the law part. I'm just gonna come get some advice on how to save it. That's what I'm trying to figure out how to do.
Well, Rochelle's
So
never
funny.
home because she's always busy. So
All right.
Oh, I've been home a lot this last year. That's for sure.
I have to catch her on Boxer, and we just
Mhm.
discuss it out that way. So
Yeah.
here's the situation. So here's the problem. Here's what I'm going through. Yeah.
That's so funny.
Oh, righty. Well, this has been fun. I am
Mhm.
so thankful that you have made time for us to fit
Yeah.
into your schedule. We are very appreciative. And what is the name of the most latest book?
The one that came out in December is True Story Lessons That One Kid Taught Us.
I have that one, but I thought another one came out. There's one that's out and it's about like courses or making a course or
Oh,
it's
it's my ISTE book, my Chart a New Course. Yeah, that one actually came out last March, but it's yeah, it's out there. I had to think. I was like, wait, oh yeah, that one. That's the one I wrote for ISTE. So it has a lot of, the tech and a lot of student little
and see
vignettes and educator vignettes.
stuff is in tech. So it tells you about how to create a tech course.
No, it's about creating, well, there's different topics in it. So like there's social emotional learning, global collaborations. There's for doing some things differently in your classroom, like augmented virtual reality. So it gives you, tools and things and strategies to try in your classroom and why we need to provide those opportunities for students for preparing for the future, which of course, like the future is now. So we need those
Hopefully
skills now.
a copy of that and I will Venmo or
Okay.
PayPal because I need that one. Because I definitely foresee my future with all of these tech classes and signing
Yeah,
up. Like, yeah, tech is going to be in my future. So might as well
sure
get
is.
prepared and ready for it. So
Yep. Agreed. Well, thank you both.
thank
I was
you.
glad you were able to make it.
Yeah, I was glad. It's good to see you. Good to talk to you. Good to laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And learn more. So I'm excited. This is good talk. Good talk.
Yeah. Agreed.
Well, until next time then.
Yeah.
And out.